What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Wanted to go through a quick overview of how this series that I'm trying to do is going to work. And I don't know if it's like the people in my age or maybe like the generation I'm in, but there's this huge, I feel like this happens all the time once you hit a certain point in your life. But there's this like spiritual awakening that happens within your life where you start asking the questions. I work this job, I do this, but nothing fulfills me. What's the purpose of life? Why am I here on earth? Then if you're not careful, you start asking questions and you get different answers that make complete sense, whether it's in different religions or different spiritual practices, or just fully denying Christ in general and living the life however you want to live because that's what you defined as your purpose of life. That's why I'm trying to make this video, to hopefully help those people who are confused, who are seeking that sense of meaning, are still in the faith because they know God is real, they know who Christ is and that his love for us is unending, but they're not getting the answers that they've been looking for. So on Instagram and TikTok, I went over 6 different ways that people tend to find purpose and meaning in their life, starting from personal responsibility, right? Taking self-improvement so far to become self-worship, leaving out God, talking about the dangers. Family and relationships, how people put all of their effort into just being a good family member or being a good husband, or they idolize just that role. So when people seek love and validation from others, their sense of identity gets skewed. Hookup culture is not true love of God, not true love of neighbor, and not true love of self. Then I dove into work and career, how people sometimes base their identity on what they do, how much money they make, where they live, like all this worldly stuff. From grind to glory, chasing success in your career without God at the center isn't ambition, it's idolatry. Went over chasing purposeful goals that no matter what you accomplish, no matter how much money you make, no matter if you get that dream body, the dream house, the dream car, still feel empty, still feel lost. You're supposed to tackle life with God, not without him. Then I went over ideological beliefs and religious systems, how everybody claims to be the truth. It goes from your truth to my truth to the truth, which is Jesus Christ. No matter how deep you dig into what is the truth, you end up at Christ. All path leads to something, not always to Christ, but they all end up diverging you back to what the truth is. And if you're serious about seeking the truth, you will end up back at Christ. Then I dived a little bit into suffering and adversity, how no matter if you're a Christian or if not a Christian or whatever you believe, life is going to be hard. There are going to be challenges that shape you into who you need to be. Why you need to be it, I don't know. We live our lives forward, but looking back, we understand why we went through what we went through. So after diving deep into where people find meaning, I'm making this series, so this is the intro video, for why or how we should orient ourselves towards Christ to live out a purpose-filled life. In this, we're going to go through 8 different areas that need to be on lock, one building on top of the other. The first 2 are kind of the most important. The first one is super important. So it starts off with our relationship with God, having that as the foundation. Then it goes into serving others. So it ties in the 2 greatest commands, right? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then love your neighbor as yourself. So relationship with God, serving others in community. Kind of tying into serving others in community is work and stewardship, right? Stewarding your job, stewarding your body, stewarding your finances, and then working in your career in a way that glorifies God. Family and relationships, those are super important, and people do find great meaning in family relationships. But you just need to make sure you're not idolizing these and you're not seeking validation from others, and you fully understand the love God has for you so that you can show it to other people in your relationships, in your family, and lead them to God ultimately. Moral integrity and character development, this kind of ties back into relationship with God, continuously seeking to improve, grow, and overcome them trials with God, right? Self-development, spiritual development, physical development, all those things. Evangelism is spreading the gospel, the aspect of taking what you know about God, why you believe what you believe, and just sharing that information with others in a way that's not condemning, but so loving and so inspiring because the way you live your life, that you push others closer and closer to God until they open up and they're like, all right, God, here's my life, like do whatever you want with me, because obviously I have tried X, Y, and Z, and that hole that's in my heart is not going to get filled by these things that I'm now starting to realize. The last 2 are interesting. It's that aspect of eternal perspective, that no matter what we do on this life, we came in with nothing and we will leave also with nothing. But having that concept in mind, that the true meaning of life transcends earthly things, ultimately in hope for eternal life to come through Christ. And then the final 8th point is suffering and redemption. How suffering, although it can seem purposeless and meaningless, it shapes you into the person you need to be. So there is a reason why you go through these things. We don't realize them until we get past them, and then we look back. Sometimes not even as soon as we get past them, but years ahead, you're like, oh, I went through all these things So now I kind of know what to do in this situation. I went back all these things so I can help others get through them too. Remember, we're not alone in this walk of life. We're here to help each other out. And yeah, that's kind of it. Then we'll touch on those 8 things. So I'm hyped, kind of nervous, kind of excited to see how this goes. What are they saying? They're like, just do it. Make it easy on yourself. The first couple videos are not going to be the best. You're going to expect them to do phenomenal and they're probably going to flop. Then I'm like, why? Why are they going to flop? Trust the process like everything else. Hope y'all enjoy the series. I will catch y'all in the next video.